Tournament baseball action today from Ward Park. The Marlboro Panthers host Holy Name. And on the mound for Marlboro today, Alan Osatek. And the first batter he'll be facing from Holy Name will be Chris Toney, the center fielder. Let me set the defensive alignment for the Panthers today. Over at first base, Brian Crissa. Paul Navarro at second. Tony Salsis at third. Michael Reynolds at short. In left field, Joe Drummy. Center field, E.J. Coveney and Scott Campbell at right. In right field. First pitch high and away a ball. Marlboro, the 4th seed in the District E tournament. Holy Name, the 5th seed. That ball right down the third base line and over not in time. Really snagged there nicely by Salsis. However, the ball popped out of his glove, and Tony reaches. I would have to say an infield hit, as Salsis did a good job to knock that ball down. Steve Jetty, Holy Name center fielder. Well, excuse me, Holy Name third baseman. Ball one. On the bunt attempt by Jetty. Mark Smith will be the on-deck batter. Pitch in there. Holy Name's record 14-6 on the season. That ball fouled behind the screen. Marlboro at 15-5. Holy Name, however, facing more Division I opponents than Marlboro during its season. Both teams pretty even. That pitch outside, 3-1. Osatek, a good control pitcher. But loses Jetty on a walk, and that'll bring up Mark Smith, right fielder for Holy Name. Mark forehand, the Panther catcher, out to talk to Osatek, try to settle him down. Osatek's ERA on the season, 1.04. His record a perfect 5-0 on the season. That pitch inside. But having some control problems as we start off here in the first inning. Reynolds shading a little bit towards second from his shortstop position as Smith hitting from the left side of the plate. Big swing and a miss. Runners on first and second, just underway here in the first. Top of the first inning at Ward Park. And another base on balls. That'll load him up. No outs here in the first inning. And cleanup hitter Mike Girardi will be the next batter to face Osatek. Pitch low and outside, ball one. Marlboro infield playing back. Looking perhaps for the double play. There's a ground ball, second base. And they only get one. As second baseman Paul Navarro will hesitant on whether to toss the ball to Reynolds and make the play himself. So Holy Name picks up a run, and now they have runners on the corners. As Girardi reaches first on the fielder's choice, Smith is erased at second. Jetty over to third, and Tony in to score the first run of the ball game. Wallen. Tony Durkin, the Holy Name catcher. Ground ball up the middle. This will bring in at least one. And a strong throw by Coveney stops Girardi at second. So Holy Name with a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. As Durkin picks up a single and an RBI. John Degan. Looks at a called strike. One out here, top of the first. This is a ground ball short, over the second for one, into first, and not in time. As again, the runner at second is erased on the fielder's choice, but the throw not in time to nail Degan, who reaches safely. So again, Holy Name with the runners at the corner. Joe Volpe, the batter. Swings and misses. Marlboro looking to escape from this inning without any further damage. Runners at first and third, two down. Top of the first, Holy Name on top. Ball fouled back, out of play. Volpe, the 7th batter to face Osatek this inning. And there's a shot into center field as the runners were off. Knocked down by Coveney in center, and that'll bring in another run. And again, runners at the corners as Volpe lines that one into center field. So Girardi scores with the 3rd run of the inning. And forehand out to talk to Osatek on the mound. That pitch low in the dirt. Good stop by forehand. In the situation, runners at 1st and 3rd, 2 down. Top of the 1st, Holy Name on top, 3-0. There's a foul ball into the crowd. A souvenir for some lucky fan. Jeff Elliott, the DH for Holy Name, facing Alan Osatek. 1-2 the count. That pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Full count on Jeff Elliott. Look for the runner on first to be off. There are 2 outs. And there he goes. And there's a shot again into center field. Coveney chases it down, picks it up on 1 hop, fires it in. And Holy Name picks up another run. So Osatek just unable to get out of this inning as Coach Ken Reynolds comes out to the mound now to talk with Osatek. It's a good play by Coveney that time in center field to keep the ball, keep that hit from going for extra bases. And again, runners on the corners as Volpe was off of the pitch, reaches 3rd. And Reynolds off the mound now, and we're set to go Mark Buren, Holy Name 2nd baseman. Pitch in there called strike. Big swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Ninth batter here in the 1st inning for Holy Name. That ball fouled away at the plate. One and 2 the count. Ossitek just trying to get out of this inning. Count even now, 2-2. The ball fouled away up by the tennis courts. As you can hear, there's a pretty stiff wind here. It's blowing out here at Ward Park. That ball had another pitch fouled back. So Buren staying alive at the plate. And Ossitek, who was ahead in the count, 0-2, now faces a 3-2 situation. Runners on first and third. Again, look for the runner on first to be off of the pitch, as we have two down here in the top of the first. And a swing and a miss, and finally the side is retired. However, not before Holy Name picks up 4 runs, and at the end of 1/2 inning, it's Holy Name 4, Marlboro coming to bat. We're back here in the bottom of the first. Marlboro takes their first at bat, leads off with Scott Campbell as that pitch into the dirt from John Nattonville. Campbell, who's in right field today for the Panthers, is hitting .306 on the season. One and one, that pitch called strike at the knees. Another pitch low in the dirt. Inside, 3-1 the count. And there's a shot into left field. This will go for extra bases. In fact, it's gone. It's gone into the parking lot. Well, this will be a home run for Campbell as he around all the bases. That one's gone downtown. So Campbell gets Marlboro on the board right away as he nails that pitch into downtown Marlboro. So Marlboro, Campbell by himself actually cuts the Holy Name lead to 3 as he just powers that pitch right out of here. E.J. Coveney, the next Marlboro batter. E.J., the Marlboro center fielder. Coveney hitting .190 on the season. Looks at ball 1, 1-1 the count. That pitch in there for called strike 2. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Coveney goes down swinging, and that'll bring up Michael Reynolds, the Marlboro shortstop. Michael with a hefty .478 average. Try to get something started for the Panthers, who trail by 3, and this is only the bottom of the first inning. One on the count as Reynolds. Kind of a check swing. Strike. That was ball 2, 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Full count to Michael Reynolds. One down here, bottom of the first. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Reynolds out on strikes. That'll bring up Brian Chrissa, the 4th Panther batter, and also the first baseman. Marlboro with a very successful season, winning their 2nd straight Midland League championship. Strike 1. Very spirited Holy Name team out here. One on the count. Inside, 2-1. A pitch foul back. Inside. 3-2. And ball 4, so Marlboro with a runner on first now, and Paul Navarro, the next Marlboro batter. Comes into this game with a .278 average. Starting second baseman. I would look for Chrissa to perhaps run on this catcher, as some of his throws have been suspect. We'll see what happens. There's a throw down to first. That was a good throw from the Holy Name catcher, Tony Durkin. Trying to keep Chrissa close. And there's ball 4, so Navarro draws a free pass. And that'll bring up Tony Celsus, the Panther third baseman. Two down here, bottom of the first. Marlboro with runners on first and second. Strike one. One on the count is that last pitch, high and inside. This is a throw down a second. And throw off towards the first base side. Chrisa back safely. Michael Reynolds has moved out to coach third base. There's a rule in district competition in the playoffs that you can't have a coach there. And that pitch fouled back. Assistant coach Bill Rigney, who's been there all season, forced to the sidelines during the playoffs. And there's strike 3, and that'll retire the side. So Marlboro picks up 1 run on 1 hit, that a towering home run by Scott Campbell, and at the end of 1 inning, it's Holy Name 4, Marlboro 1. And there's a ball hit into right field. Campbell started out, comes in, he'll make the play on the track out in right field. So Tony, who reached on an infield hit or whatever you would want to call it, a ball off Tony Celsus's mitt, is retired to start the second inning. Steve Jetty, who reached on base on balls last inning, came around to score the second Holy Name run. Looks at ball 1. And there's a shot into right field. Again, Campbell is over and makes the play. So that shot to right center. Campbell tracks it down, and quickly we've got 2 down here in the top of the second. Mark Smith, the Holy Name right fielder, reached on a base on balls last inning. Was erased on a fielder's choice. Big swing. It's gotten a little chilly here at Ward Park. People donning sweaters and all, as the wind has really picked up and the sun's gone behind the clouds. That pitch low in the dirt. 2-1. Three and 1 now, the count on Mark Smith. Called strike. Full count now on Smith. And again, Smith with a free pass to first. And that brings up Mike Girardi, who grounded to the second baseman, who tagged second, but the throw to first was not in time to erase Girardi, and he ended up scoring the third Holy Name run. 2 down here, top of the second. And there's a line shot foul down the left field line, almost into our booth here at the Scenic Ward Park. That pitch low. And there's a high fly ball into left field. E.J. Coveney over from center field calling for the ball, and that'll retire the side. There's a ball fouled into the crowd, off someone's car. Osatek with a .310 average in the season, facing John Nattonville. And he's caught looking. So 1 down quickly here in the second. Swing and a miss, 2-1 the count on Mark Forehand. Joe Drummy on deck for Marlboro. Three on the count. Another swing and a miss. Full count now. Ball 4. That a called strike. Two and two. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and the throw down to first, not in time to get a leaning forehand. He was almost caught going the other way. There's a shot into center field. Center fielder drawing a bead on it for Holy Name. Oh, and it almost goes over his head. And that'll retire the side. So no runs for Marlboro in the bottom of the second, and we head into the top of the third. Holy Name on top, 4-1. The top of the third at a blustery Ward Park. Certainly doesn't feel like June. As the first batter for Holy Name, Tony Durkin. And pops that one up, and forehand makes the play behind the plate. So 1 down. And there's a shot into center field. E.J. Coveney on the track, 2 down. Looks at ball 2. There's a fly ball into short left field. Drummy has a beat on it, makes the play, and that'll two down. That'll retire Degan. Ball one. Osatek really seems to have settled down since that first inning. That ball fouled. Out of play. Three and one to Joe Volpe. Holy name first baseman. There's a fly ball into left field. Drummy really, oh, nice play by Drummy really on his horse, makes the play that retires the side. One. And another foul ball into the crowd. And it is a sizable crowd here at Ward Park, gathered for the first round of the District E baseball playoffs. A pitch high. There's a ball popped up over by first baseline. Drops in there, unable to make a play. Sends a photographer scurrying. And Coveney stays alive at the plate. Marlboro really looking to get something started here in the bottom of the third. Nattonville with good control for Holy Name. There's a ground ball over to short. Bobbled by the shortstop, and he won't make the throw. Oh, and they've got Coveney now in a rundown. Caught between first and second. And the tag's made, and he's erased from the base paths at the first out in the bottom of the third. And there's a line shot into left field. Misplayed by the left fielder. And Reynolds on his way to second, easily with a double. Well, had Coveney not been picked off, Marlboro would have picked up their second run of the ball game. However, Marlboro now with a base runner on second, one down. Brian Chrissa reached on a base on balls back in the first. Fly ball to left field. And we've got 2 down as left fielder John Dagan makes the play. Paul Navarro, Marlboro second baseman. Danville keeping a close eye on Reynolds as that pitch fouled away. One and one the count on Paul Navarro. Well, Navarro reaches. So, Navarro reaches as he's hit by a pitch. And Celsius, the batter, Tony Celsius, strikeout victim back in the first. Marlboro with runners on first and second. 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Pitch in there for a strike. A pitch foul back, out of play. Pitch low in the dirt. Reynolds at second, Navarro at first. 2 down. There's a pitch called strike 3. That'll retire the side. So Marlboro strands 2 base runners, and at the end of 3, it's Holy Name 4, Marlboro 1. Ground ball foul. Past the third base bag. Jeff Elliott, the Holy Name batter. Elliott with a single back in the first. Looks at that one inside. There's a fly ball, a high fly ball. Celsius tries to draw a beat on it and does. makes the play to retire Elliott. Just as the sun peeks out here, it was a tough catch with this wind, and then all of a sudden the sun coming out. But Sales just makes it, and we've got one down. Mark Buren struck out back in the first inning. Takes ball one. Buren, the second baseman. It's been rather an uneventful game after the first inning, where Holy Name picked up 4 runs. And Scott Campbell with a booming home run to get Marlboro on the board. There's a bunt popped up. Osatek with the play. Chris Toney singled and flat out to right. Swing and a miss, strike one. Many fans here with portable TVs as they check on the Celtics from time to time. One and one. This is a shot into center field. Coveney back and makes the grab. A nice play by E.J. Coveney, and that retires a side. 3 up, 3 down once again. And after 3.5, Holy Name 4, Marlboro 1. Alan Osatek, the Marlboro pitcher, a strikeout victim back in the first, takes ball one. Start off the bottom of the fourth for the Panthers. Pitch foul back. Out of play. It's really breezy here. And another foul. Almost hits a little fan, but he manages to duck out of the way. This little boy thinks he has a little souvenir, but he brought his glove to the game and everything. But he gives the ball back. Man, a called strike at the knees. So Osatek retired on strikes. Mark Forehand, who reached on a base on balls back in the second inning. And there's a fly ball in the short center. Second baseman, and called off by the right fielder, almost a collision, but the right fielder for Holy Name makes the play. Mark Smith, and we've got 2 down here in the 4th. Again, the wind really wreaking havoc with some of these fly balls. And Joe Drummy out on strikes back in the 2nd. Two outs here in the 4th for Marlboro. Nattonville really pitching well for Holy Name. There's a shot into left center. And left fielder, John Dagan with the play. 3 up, 3 down. 4-1, Holy Name. Alcatech's first pitch in the 5th, a strike to Steve Jetty. Two strikes quickly on Jetty, the Holy Name third baseman. Both pitchers really pitching well. And there's a chopper down third base line, foul. Mark Smith on deck for Holy Name. Well, this weather more reminiscent of late spring than June. There's a foul back to the screen, because the wind is really whipping around down here. Oh, Chris Donnellan, our cameraman, says it is late spring. Well, that's not what I meant. I meant like March. You know, when you think of June, you think of summer. As the next pitch is popped up, fouled out of play. I don't really go by those calendar days. But I suppose if you're going to be technical, it is late spring, so. Steve Jetty with a full count. Jetty had a walk back in the 1st and popped up to the right fielder. And there's a shot into left field. Drummy is there, and he has to come in on it. But he makes the play. Mark Smith. Has 2 walks thus far. One down here in the top of the 5th. Two balls, no strikes. A pitcher called strike at the knees. Pitch fouled away. 2-2. The count is full. And a call, third strike. So Osatek really pitching well, catching Smith looking, and we've got 2 away with Mark Girardi, only named shortstop. Reached on a fielder's choice and lined out to center field. That pitch outside. Three 0 the count on Girardi, the cleanup hitter. That pitch in there for called strike. That pitch gets by forehand. Girardi to first base. Tony Durkin, line to center, and singled back in the first. Also had an RBI back in the first. There goes the runner. Swing, throw it on a second, and it's way off. In fact, it goes into right field, and Girardi all the way over to third on the error. So with 2 down now, Holy Name a runner on third base. There's a line shot to second base. That'll retire the side. 4-1 after 4.5. Holy Name on top. Scott Campbell leads things off for Marlboro in the bottom of the 5th. He lined to center, and back in the first, hit one out of here. For Marlboro's only run of the game thus far. Ball 2. John Nattonville on the mound for Holy Name, as Campbell takes ball 3. Four balls on 4 straight pitches. E.J. Coveney struck out in the first and reached on an error by the shortstop back in the third. However, he was caught in a rundown between first and second and was tagged out. Michael Reynolds followed that with a double, so that could have been another run for the Panthers. Looks at strike 1. Fouled at the plate. 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's Nattonville's 8th strikeout thus far, as Michael Reynolds, who, as I mentioned, doubled back in the 3rd, also was a strikeout victim in the 1st. Ball. A pitch popping out of the glove of Tony Durkin, but no attempt on advancement by Scott Campbell. It's a throw down to first. Campbell back in time. Durkin with a good arm. As I was watching him through some warm-ups and things, appeared to be a little bit off in his throws as Campbell goes, but the ball fouled away, so Campbell will retreat back to first base. Bops the umpire, but he seems none the worse for wear. Does a little house cleaning. The pitch inside. And another foul back as Campbell was again off. Three and 2 the count. One down, bottom of the 5th. Scott Campbell over at first for Marlboro. And ball 4. Brian Crissa. Flew out to left and reached on a base on ball back in the 1st. Little conference there with the 3rd baseman, Nattonville and Steve Jetty. And there's a shot into right field. That's a foul ball, just foul. Just missed dropping in there for a hit. As you can see that right field terrain out there, a real advantage for Marlboro, having played here all season. Right fielder usually ends up playing at the base of that hill. We've seen many fly balls force the outfielders up the hill and around the trees and over the rocks, and a real challenge. And there's a ground ball, second baseman. And the throw goes by the first baseman. And that'll send Chris to the second. And Campbell comes in to score the second Marlboro run. So Reynolds forced at second base. The throw from shortstop Mike Girardi into the dirt and past the first baseman. And Paul Navarro. It's up for Marlboro, looks at ball one. Navarro was hit by a pitch his last at bat. And there's a fly ball. Shortstop, oh, the shortstop called for it, and his ball dropped in. Chris on his way home. So some confusion there again. Perhaps you could blame the wind, as the shortstop not having a very good inning. Mike Girardi, as he was calling for it, seemed to have a bead on the ball, and the ball just sailed over his head. So all of a sudden, it's a one-run ball game. As Tony Salsis, who's been the victim of a strikeouts in his last two at-bats. Pitch inside, ball two. Hey, we've got a little conference here at the mound as Tony Durkin out to try and settle Nattonville down. Actually, Nattonville not pitching badly, but the victim of some poor fielding behind him as Girardi for Holy Name making an error on a throw to first and also misjudging a pop-up. 3 balls the count. Ball 4. Marlboro with runners on first and second. Alan Osatek with a chance to help his own cause here. Comes up with 2 down. Runners at first and second. Osatek also strikeout victims back in the second and fourth. That pitch low. Osatek with a little dance there. Check swing, throw down a first. And ball is Tony Sales is really shaken up as both Billy Rigney and Ken Reynolds, the Marlboro coach, is over to see if he's okay. Throw down a first, blocked by the first baseman, but it was a bit of a collision there at first base. So with a break in the action here, we'll take a break and be right back. We're back here, and you can see Tony Celsus is up, and he's okay, and we're set to go with Alan Osatek at the plate. 2 down, bottom of the 5th, Marlboro with 2 runs to pull within 1 of the Holy Name team. There's a ball popped up, And catcher calling for it makes the play, and that'll retire the side. But Marlboro picks up 2 runs, and now after 5 full, it's Holy Name 4, Marlboro 3. John Dagan facing Alan Osatek here in the 6th inning. Fouls that one out of play. Osatek really settling down after that shaky start. However, he walks leadoff batter this inning, John Dagan, to bring up Joe Volpe. Joe had a single back in the 1st, and then fly ball to left. Throw over to first, not in time. Marlboro looking for the bunt. And there it is, hit hard, but in time, Osatek makes the play. It was really bunted hard to the left of Osatek. It was not an easy play. But Volpe gets the job done. And Dagan advances to second base. Jeff Elliott, the DH. Single and popped up to the third baseman. One on the count. Ball fouled at the plate. That pitch in the dirt forehand with a good job of keeping that ball in front of him. No attempt at advancement made by John Dagan. There's a foul ball coming almost up into our Channel 30 booth. That ball was out of play, although some good pursuit by Celsius, Reynolds, and Drummy from left field. One down, top of the 6th. Jeff Elliott, the batter. Another foul ball. This will be out of play behind the Holy Name bench. Full count. There's a ball chopped. Celsius. I thought maybe he touched it, but I guess he didn't, as the ball is called foul. Chopped down the third base line. My view was hampered by the Holy Name third base coach, however, so. Elliott really working Osatek here. Quite a few foul balls. Again, full count, one down. Runner on second for Holy Name. And there's a fly ball into right center field. Coveney makes the play. And that'll be two down. Mark Buren struck out and popped up to the pitcher. Ball one. Foul ball. Two down. Top of the sixth. Osatek hoping to work his way out of this one with a runner on second base. Would like to retire this guy, the number 9 batter. And Buren reaches on a walk, so now we've got runners at first and second. Two down, and that'll bring up Chris Toney. Singled and lined out to left and center field, to right field and center field. Ball one. That pitch fouled away. Again, another foul out of play. Runners at first and second, two down here, top of the sixth. Ball chopped. Second baseman over to first in time to retire the side. After 5.5, it's 4-3. Holy Name. Mark forehand. That ball one. Forehand line to right field and reached on base on balls back in the second. And there's a fly ball to center field. And center fielder makes the play. One down quickly here in the bottom of the sixth. Joe Drummy, the Marlboro left fielder. Drummy with a shot to right field. That's going to drop in there. So Drummy with a base hit. Brings up Scott Campbell. Campbell has scored 2 runs here today. The first on a home run back in the first inning, and came around to score after he reached on a walk in the 5th. He also flew out to center field. Drops a bunt down the third base line. Some confusion on the fielding. A bad throw, and Campbell is safe. Little confusion between the pitcher and third baseman for Holy Name, Steve Jetty. And Campbell reaches as Jetty makes a bad throw to first. So with 1 down, runners at first and second, E.J. Coveney reached on an error, was caught in a rundown on that play, however, and a strikeout victim twice. Fouls that back to the screen. Big swing and a miss, 2 strikes. And strike 3, so 2 down. Brings up Michael Reynolds. Struck out in the first, doubled in the third, and drew a walk back in the 5th. Throw to second base, back in time is Joe Drummy. Sliding in under the tag. Oh, and that pitch sails by everything as it almost takes poor Mike Reynolds' head off. And the runners now over to third and second, respectively, with 2 outs. And Dick Maynard out to the mound to talk to John Nattonville. Trying to settle his pitcher down. Nattonville has pitched very well. Giving up 2 runs last inning, 1 run back in the first on that home run, but he's got 9 strikeouts on the afternoon. And they've decided to intentionally walk Mike Reynolds to load the bases. to get at Brian Chrisser. Nattenville almost throwing that one away on the intentional pass here. That loads him up for Brian Chrisser. Chrisser, 298 hitter on the season, looks at strike one called. And that ball fouled back. The pitch fouled out of play. And there's a little ball looped behind first base, and the first baseman comes over, makes the play. So with the bases loaded, Marlboro is retired, and again they trail by one. Top of the seventh. Here at a blustery Ward Park. Steve Jetty leads things off. Jetty, flow to left, center, and back in the first, reached on a base on ball and came around to score the second Holy Name run. There's a fly ball into center field. We've got a whole convention of people converging in. A nice sliding catch by E.J. Coveney. Beautiful defensive play by Coveney out in center field. Again, the wind playing tricks on some of these fly balls, but Mark Smith, the next batter, 2 base on balls and a strikeout to his credit. Looks at strike one. And Mark Forehand wants to talk to Alan Osatek. Osatek, who's pitched well. And although he's pitched well with some good control, he has only recorded 1 strikeout through 6 1/3 innings. There's a ball popped up over by the bleachers. Sales's there, and the ball out of play. Bangs off the stands here. There's a ball down first. Chrisser will make the play unassisted. 2 down. Mike Girardi. Reached on a fielder's choice. line to center, and reached on a base on balls. Two down here, top of the 7th. That ball bouncing in there. Ball 1. There's a foul ball at the plate. It is a fly ball in the center field. Coveney's there, makes the play, retires the side. So time for the 7th inning stretch with Holy Name on top, 4-3. First pitch to Paul Navarro is fouled back. Marlboro would certainly like a couple more runs right now, as Navarro looks at ball 2. Called strike 2, as the sun makes an appearance here. Fouled back to the screen. This Holy Name team a chatty bunch. That pitch into the dirt. John Nattenville walks Navarro to lead things off here in the 7th. Tony Celsus reached on a walk himself back in the 5th, and then struck out twice in the 3rd and the 1st. Throw to first to keep Navarro close. There's the bunt down the first base line. Misplayed. Throw is in time, however, as the first baseman had some trouble finding the handle on it. Gets it over to first. So Sales is effective with the sacrifice. And Osatek, 0 for 3 in the afternoon. Popped to the catcher and struck out twice. Osatek pops this one way up. And that was Jetty with the play for Holy Name. Mark forehand. Marlboro catcher comes up with 2 outs. Forehand hit .232 on the season, and again now comes Holy Name coach Dick Maynard to chat with Nattonville. Set to face forehand. Let's see what the little talk was about. Ball 1. Three and 0 the count. That pitch inside. Forehand on 4 straight pitches. It's a free walk down first. Ball 3. 3 and 0 the count. So Nattonville having some control problems here. As this game just over 2 hours old. There's a throw down to second. Not even close. That pitch called strike. So now the count 3 and 1 on Drummy. And another called strike. So 2 down, runners at first and second. Joe Drummy at the plate. That pitch fouled away as runners were going on the pitch. Throw to first and forehand. Caught off first base. And that's the second time that's happened to a Marlboro base runner this afternoon. At the end of 7, it's Holy Name 4, Marlboro 3. Ground ball to second, over to first. 1 down quickly here in the top of the 8th. Again, Osatek has really pitched well, settled down. Good control here. However, he's had some base running miscues by the Panthers, which have cost them a run or 2. Hagen reached on a fielder's choice, flew out to left field, and reached on base on balls. And that one grounds back, knocked down by Osatek. Celsius tries to make the throw to first. He does, but it's not in time. This ball chopped down to second base, and everybody will be safe. A real slow roller, as the grass here in Ward Park is high, and a slow roller infield hit for Volpe. Ball 2. There's a called strike. Ball 4. That loads him up. For Mark Buren. And Reynolds leaves Osatek in the game. So I can't tell you who that is, but we can get that name for you later on. One down, bases full. Marlboro will look to turn a double play here. That ball stopped by forehand, kept in front. Two strikes. That ball fouled back. Now we've got two down here to bring up Chris Tony. Chris singled back in the first, line to right, center, and grounded to second base, back in the sixth. And there's a ball popped up, and to make the play on it, Mike Reynolds. That'll retire the side, so Osatek works out of a bases-loaded jam to retire the side after 7.5. Holy name for Marlboro 3. Back in the 7th inning, when Mark Forehand was picked off first base, and he chops one down to second, over to first in time, and we've got one down. And there's a shot into right field, up the hill, behind the rock. And Campbell's on his way to second. He'll head for third. Here comes the throw. And Campbell is in with a triple. So Campbell with a towering shot. He's really tagged that ball today. Ball 1. One and one the count. And strike 2. There's a pitch foul back behind the screen. 1-2 the count. One down, bottom of the eighth. Runner on third as Scott Campbell hammered a triple. Marlboro trailing by 1. And this is a ground ball snagged by the third baseman, and they've got Campbell caught in a rundown. And he slides in, thought maybe under the tag, but no, he's tagged out. Throw over to first, not in time. Again, throw to first, not in time. This throw, Coveney's on his way to second. Here's a throw, and he's in safely. So Coveney with some good speed down to second base. Ball 2. Strike 1, 2-1. And there's a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. And again, it's been some Panther miscues on the bases as that ball's golfed to right field. Campbell comes over and makes the play. 1 down. And, Scott Campbell, after hitting a triple, was caught on a fine defensive play by as that ball is popped up behind shortstop Michael Reynolds, giving chase, and he makes the play. But on a ground ball down by third base, Jetty making a fine play for Holy Name, and Campbell caught off the bag on the ground ball, and he was tagged out as he tried to score. Also, we've had 2 other Panther base runners, E.J. Coveney and Mark Forehand, picked off first. Mike Girardi. Lines this one into left field for a base hit. So Holy Name with a runner on first. 2 down, Tony Durkin, catcher, and grounded to second back in the 8th inning. There's a throw over to first. Whoa, nice save by Chrissa on that throw. Durkin swings away, hits this one to center field. Coveney is there and makes the grab. Tear in the bottom of the ninth as they trail by one. Brian Chrissa at the plate. And John Nattonville still on the mound for Holy Name. Although I believe we're having a change. As Nattonville leaves to a round of applause from his teammates and into the game to pitch the Holy Name shortstop, Mike Girardi. So while we have a break in the action here for Girardi's warm-up pitches, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. So we've got a change in pitchers. And that ball goes back to the screen from Mike Girardi. Brian Chrissa. Reaches on a base on balls. So Marlboro with a base runner. And we've got a pinch runner for Chrissa. But I didn't see the number. Number 2. That's Scott McCabe is pinch running now for Brian Chrissa. Marlboro playing very well defensively today. Some great defensive plays and some great pitching from Osatek. And there's a shot into center field. Ooh, and a nice play by center fielder Chris Toney. So he almost hit that telephone pole. It made a nice running grab of Paul Navarro's shot. And one down here. Marlboro still with a runner on first base. Tony Siosis. Throw to first. McKay back. Again the throw. Girardi with a quick move to first. Called strike. Again the throw to first. And there goes McCabe. And a swing. McCabe in safely. No throw attempt was made as the ball was dropped by the catcher. So McCabe with a stolen base. Ball 4. Alan Osatek, who overcame a shaky first inning, giving up 4 runs to pitch 8 scoreless innings, including working out of a bases-loaded jam back in the 8th. One down. Here, bottom of the 9th. Do or die time for the Panthers. The pitch foul back. John Nattonville, the Holy Name pitcher, pitching 8 full innings, giving up 3 runs, giving way to Mike Girardi. That pitch outside, 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2 now the count. Scott McCabe pinch running for Brian Crissa at second base. Tony Celsis over at first. And there's a ball hit him to right center field, and it's up the hill. McCabe will come around. He'll tie the ball game. Here comes Celsis with the winning run. And there's the throw. It won't be in time. And Marlboro with a dramatic come-from-behind victory here in the 9th inning at Ward Park. Unbelievable finish. As Osatek pitched his heart and soul out here for 9 innings. Golfs that into right center field and drives in the tying and the winning run, and I'll tell you what a finish to this ball game here.